With us, please start.
Yes.
With a welcome note.
Yes. So good afternoon to all. I welcome you all in this post-lunch session. I consider it a great honor to welcome the resource person of the session, Dr. Bhimaraya Metri. He will discuss NEP with respect to technical education. This session will cover the genesis of NEP 2020. This also covers National Research Foundation as a gift to higher and technical education. But first of all, I would like to share about Dr. Metri. Professor Bhimaraya Metri is the director of IIM at Nagpur. He is a distinguished academician, renowned teacher and researcher. As an outstanding leader of management education, he has performed key leadership roles at many premier management and corporate institutes in his remarkable career. Dr. Metri is a former director of IIM Trichy, and under his dynamic leadership, IIM Trichy has made its place among the league of top business schools in India. He has also contributed immensely as Dean at L&T Institute of Project Management, Vadodara, IMI New Delhi, MDI Gurgaon, and also led various research programs at BITS Pilani. A renowned expert in the area of project management and infrastructure, quality management and supply chain management. He has numerous research papers and books to his credit. Apart from being on the editorial advisory board of several national and international journals. Currently, he is the member of Indian National Commission for Cooperation with UNESCO. He is also serving on the panel of experts for mentoring the institutes of eminence and also as the chairman of All India Board of Management Studies in AICTE, MSDC, UGC, NBA, IGNU, and in Bureau of Indian Standards. Dr. Metri has also served earlier as a member of various national committees of higher education constituted by government and professional bodies. Dr. Metri was the first Indian elected as the Vice President, Asia Pacific Division, Decision Sciences Institute, DSI. Dr. Metri has trained more than 100 vice chancellors of central, state, and deemed universities in the country. He has trained more than 1,000 directors, deans, principals, and HODs of leading engineering institutions, including NITs under TechU project to improve the quality of technical education in the country. He has conducted several board level and top management programs for the leading public sector organizations. He is profoundly involved with executive education at senior and top management levels, including international training in organizations like MNCs, government, public, private sector, and foreign government bodies. He has provided consultancy to various premier organizations such as NTPC, Army Ordnance Corps, Delhi Transport Corporation, Railway Land Development Authority, etc. He has led a successful national and international accreditation and re-accreditation programs, also led a curriculum review committee that undertook a major overhaul of the PGDM programs. For such illustrious contribution to the society, he has been bestowed with several prestigious awards and recognitions. He is the only serving IIM director to receive the country's prestigious AIMA Keval Noharia Award for Academic Leadership in Management Education. He is awarded Distinguished Services Award for Asia Pacific Decision Sciences Institute, Prerna Puraskar Distinguished Alumnus Award, and Top Rankers Excellence Award for Outstanding Academic Leadership by Top Rankers Management Club, New Delhi. I welcome him for his address. Please, sir.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot for the generous introduction. Respected Professor B.S. Chawla Saab, Principal, Government Engineering College, Bilaspur. Professor S.K. Singai, Professor and Head of Electrical Engineering Department, Government Engineering College, Bilaspur, and all the distinguished faculty members of Government Engineering College, Bilaspur, and distinguished participants of ATAL program, which is being conducted at Government Engineering College, Bilaspur. So first of all, I thank the organizer, particularly Chawla Saab and Singhai Saab, for inviting me for this, very important interaction with all the distinguished engineering college faculty members. And since Chawla Saab and Singhai Saab, we know earlier programs together, and I'm very, very happy that, and I'm sure you have chosen the right institution for this program under the leadership of Chawla Saab. I'm sure this program, you are going to take many, many things with you after the completion of this program. So to begin with the topic, NEP, National Education Policy, and three important highlights I have been told to talk about. The number one is, I'll touch upon the genesis, and then multidisciplinary approach, then academic banking of credits, and national research foundations. So these are the 3 to 4. After the genesis, these are the 3 areas I will touch upon. And all of you know that national education policy, it has emerged as a gold standard for India, and also this particular policy is appreciated not only in India but rest of the world. Since this policy received more than 2 lakh suggestions last 1 year, before finalizing, and last 1 year, various institutions are also considering the NEP for the implementation in bits and pieces in their institutions. And just recently, we have celebrated 1 year NEP 2020. Now, this NEP 2020, as the genesis of this NEP 2020, it goes back to Indian tradition knowledge. So if you look at the Indian tradition knowledge, so it is all about holistic human being. Holistic human being means holistic human being, the one who respect all living beings, including animals, insects, and everybody on the planet, all living being on the planet. So that is a basic genesis of holistic human being and building a character and learning to learn. These are the 3 important underlying principles for NEP 2020. Now, holistic human being, today all of you look at the current education system, what we are, teaching last many years or many decades in India, particularly after getting the freedom, last 75 years, whatever the education we are going, we basically went into more of European and American style of education than our own Indian. Probably after the freedom, I must say that we became more European and American than Indian. So that is our education system, whatever we teach, whatever the pedagogy we adopted, the kind of culture in higher education we created, it is all influenced by Western world. As a part of that, we are focused more on materialistic life, more on competition, less on human being, less on building a moral, less on building a character. And that is how this new education policy once again revisited Indian traditional knowledge and glorious days of Nalanda, Taxila. Entire world used to come to these universities to learn the holistic education. And in those days, the professors used to be the Republic of Scholars. Republic of Scholars means there is no constraint. There are no, you can't do this, you can't do this, you can't do this. That was not at all exist in the dictionary of universities in those days. The total freedom as far as intellectuals are concerned, that was the era. Nalanda, Takshila, and Indian education system in those days became Vishwaguru. So keeping that in mind, new education policy, the 3-4 important points as a genesis pointed out was, one is from materialistic life to the holistic human being. Materialistic life in the sense, today we talk about profit, 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 money, money, and money alone. So from that, we are in new education policy talking about the underlying principle of the current education system is a stakeholder, a central principle. So central principle of stakeholder for the higher education has been changed in the new education policy from stakeholder to people and planet first, and profit comes much later. So that is the important change in the higher education in NEP 2020. So people and planet first. So basically ESG, environment, society and governance, they are going to play important role where the welfare of people and also the planet, basically optimal utilization of natural resources, not for only our generation but many thousands of generation here onwards. So those are the central principles, people and planet central principle than the stakeholder. Till today, higher education, we look students as a stakeholder, industry as a stakeholder. If you look at the corporate world, they say that shareholders are the stakeholders. So keeping those things in mind, we have operated the education sector, we have operated the corporate sector. But in new education policy, it has been told, it has been planted, our foundation has been laid, people and planet as a foundation, and rest all comes secondary. So it doesn't deny that profit should not, profit is the motive, but it says that it should not be the prime motive. So there is going to be in future, probably there going to be a social contract. Why to make a profit? Beyond the limit, as Mahatma Gandhi once rightly said, our mother earth, our planet can provide wants of every human being, those who are born on this planet. But it cannot supply the resources for the greed. So once planet is ready to supply natural resources, you can enjoy. But when it comes to greed, 2% of the people have 90% of the wealth of the world. That is not going to work out here onwards. So that is where new education policy, important outcomes expected of NEP 2021 is our students, those who are going to undergo the NEP 2020, they are going to be a global citizens, not only citizen of the particular state and particular country, including India, they are going to be a global citizens. That is the number one outcome of the NEP. Second outcome is they are all going to be, going to take care, going to focus on global social responsibility from the institution social responsibility or corporate social responsibility. These are all the young boys and girls, those who are undergoing NEP 2020, they are focusing on broadening their horizon, they are focusing on global social responsibility. So one is global citizen, second one is global social responsibility, and the third one is learning to learn. Till today, particularly in engineering education, I tell you follow, one way kind of teaching or PowerPoint kind of teaching, all of you know that power corrupts and PowerPoint corrupts more. So those kind of pedagogy are going to disappear. The pedagogy expected outcome of the NEP 2020 is learning to learn. Learning to learn means students will be thrown into the swimming pool. They will be given the environment, the phenomena, and group of students working together, they come out with the innovative solutions. It is going to be a phenomena based learning. It is also called as a phenobel. NEP talks about phenobel. Phenobel means phenomena based learning. It is a project based learning. Students, they will experience and they will do the mistake, they will correct the mistake, sharpen their decision making skills, and then the learning to learn happens. For example, if you are playing a game, two groups are playing a game, whether it is a physical game or online or simulation, probably A group may lose in first 2 rounds and remaining 8 rounds out of 10, they may win. So first 2 rounds, they may lose, and then by losing the game, first and second rounds, They may sharpen their decision making skill, they may adjust, they may collaborate, they may change their strategy. And remaining 8 rounds, there is no looking back. They keep on winning one or the other. The way in Tokyo Olympic Indians won the medals, same way, so they can win. And then the outcome of that kind of pedagogy is every students, they get into learning to learn through the phenomena, through the process, through the games. Not only learning to learn happen, they sharpen their decision making skills. They do the mistake, and without any losing, those mistakes are not costly mistakes. They do the mistake, they correct the mistake, sharpen the skill, and also they courageously they will play. And tenacity will come. Means at a time they not only think about their game, they also think putting themselves into the opposite side, opposite party of the game. So tenacity, the courage, the confidence, all these kind of whatever the skills required in this disruptive world, they develop through this phenomena based learning, and that is what expected in NEP 2020. And therefore, the phenomena-based learning, a pedagogy, what we are doing for PowerPoint or one-way kind of teaching, teaching-centered learning is going to disappear in NEP 2020. It is going to be a learner-centric. Learning first and rest all move around the learning, and that is where the phenomena-based learning come into picture. So if the situation is given, say 2 companies are merging together, now, what kind of engineering skills are required? 2 engineering companies are coming together. Then what kind of skills, what kind of culture, what kind of the financial arrangement, profit and loss, what legal aspects will come into picture? So literally expertise from all branches of engineering, including information system. For suppose 2 ERP, one is using the Oracle, another one is using the, for example, SAP as a ERP, then 2 companies coming together, how to play important role to merge. So this kind of phenomena-based learning, basically a group of teachers will be advising the group of students in this kind of pedagogy. And there you need not to have a separate, many places you did not have a separate examination, because automatically while playing the game, you can assess their leadership, you can assess the courage, you can assess the confidence, you can assess the tenacity, you can also assess the curiosity, and you can also assess the decision making power. These current examination system, evaluation system, what we say that my student, the first student, he got the 92 marks out of 100, it is a Stone Age assessment. This assessment is not going to tell about the student's leadership, tell about the tenacity, tell about the courage and confidence. What are we assessing this today's evaluation system? We are totally confused. We don't know. That has to disappear, and that is going to disappear in NEP 2020. NEP 2020, there is a continuous evaluation. You are going to evaluate what were not evaluated earlier days. So future belongs to a disruptive world. Future belongs to digital disruptive world. And disruption is not only happening once in a year or decade, disruption is happening very often. A speed has taken over the size of the company. Small companies are eating the bigger companies. It means small fishes are eating the bigger fishes. What was considered as a impossible 15 years back has been considered as a possible today. So in this kind of a very, very dynamic, fluid world, you need these kind of skills. That is where the learning to learn, that is where the growth mindset is going to play important role. Till today in the education sector, we used to look at the skill, the competency in particular engineering, civil, mechanical, or electronics and computer science and IT, those skills we used to look at that. But today in this digital world, whatever the skills we teach in the school, by the time they will graduate, probably robots will do that role, and those skills are not going to be useful. So all the repetitive jobs one by one, robots and smart robots are going to take, and that is where students, what they learn in 4 years, by the time they graduate, they end up with the unknown role in unborn companies. Now what you taught, that is no more applicable, because that job is done by the robots. Now they will end up with the unknown role, and also company which they studied probably while joining the Bilaspur Engineering College. Student might have thought I would join the Bharat Electronics or Maruti Suzuki or Gardela Chemicals. But the moment he will graduate, they realize that Maruti has gone for 80%, robot. Smart robots are working. Bharat Electronics, mostly work is done by the robots. Then the boy may end up with the company which is totally unknown, the role which is totally unknown. So unknown role and unborn company, how to take up. For that, we have to teaching today in the engineering college or any professional college is entirely different, because we have to teach the students they should able to take up the unknown role in unborn companies, because you don't know 5 years down the line what is going to come, 3 years down the line what products are going to disappear, what roles are going to disappear, what roles are taken by the robots. So these are going to be a very dynamic. And if you go by the McKinsey report, they say that 85 million jobs have been taken by the robots, already taken by the robots. Those are the repetitive jobs. They also said that 97 million jobs, new jobs have been created, but those 97 million new jobs demands newer skills. What you studied in 4 years, that those are not going to be useful. They need a new generation skills. They need a skills about the 3D printing in auto or in mechanical engineering. They need a skills about deep computing, thinking machines. They need a skill about a cloud computing. They need a skill about IoT. They need a skill about various applications of artificial intelligence. So it means the skills are going to change every periodically, maybe every year, every 2 year, every 3 year. And all of you know that industry 1.0, it remained for 140 years. Industry 2.0, after 1.0, after almost 50 years, Industry 2.0 came. After 25 years, Industry 3.0 came, and again after 10-15 years, Industry 4.0 came. Now, if you look at the 1.0 to 4.0, the duration is reducing from 150 years to 50 years to 25 years. Now, Industry 6.0 or 5.0 probably may come in 10-12 years. The moment you get into Industry 4.0, you may get into Industry 5.0. And the moment you practice Industry 5.0 in 4-5 years, Industry 6.0 may come. Speed has taken over everything. So in this kind of world, in education institution, earlier, my time, probably Chawla Saab's time and Singhai Saab's time, probably we all went to the engineering college for the knowledge. But today, students are not going for knowledge. It is available in Google. Students are not only going for knowledge, but students are going for competencies and skills. But in future, of course, attitude, the attitude and value starts from by the birth in the family, and then probably we keep on learning from primary, higher secondary, and even higher education. Attitude, skill, and knowledge. Apart from that, in future, when we teach students in engineering college, we have to keep fourth component in mind, fourth dimension in mind, that is which is important, is capability building. So till now, we only focus on the attitude, the knowledge, and the skill or competency. The fourth important one is development of skill alone is not sufficient. That is the third one. Fourth important is development of mindset. How to build the growth mindset in students, that is going to play important role. So growth mindset comes through the pedagogy of phenomena based learning, PhenoBell. Growth mindset comes from project based learning. How to give the students the theory and practice balance. How to build the competency between theory as well as practice. Only practice doesn't serve the purpose. Only theory doesn't serve the purpose. Foundation of the theory is extremely important, and the execution only bring the result. So that is where theory and practice, how to bring the balance, that is going to play important role. And NEP is focusing on these two aspects to build the holistic human being, and also to take up the unborn roles in unknown companies. So this is a different kind of NEP, and which probably never heard, never thought. That kind of gold standard has come to India, and probably entire world is appreciating NEP 2020 is a gold standard. So that is why now our pedagogy is going to change. In all engineering, pedagogy is going to change, because you have to build the student, such a student, he should have a very sharp decision making power. He has to handle the unknown, because earlier, oh, I want to join Maruti, I'm going mechanical engineering. I want to join L&T, I'm going to civil engineering. Thinking that people used to join the branches of engineering, but future, they can't afford to do that, because by the time they graduate, there will not be jobs in those companies, because those are taken by the robots. So that is where now it is going to be a different kind of pedagogy and different kind of teaching. And that is where every teacher is going to be a student, and every student is also going to be a student. So everybody is learning in future in any professional colleges. So future belongs to perpetual learners. Students also learn and faculty also learn. Perpetual learners. And future also belongs to the readers. Readers are going to be the leaders. And all of you know that reading habits have gone down for students as well as new generation faculty. So if we don't read, we can't innovate, and we can't adapt, and we can't adjust with the new environment. That is why reading has to be one of the important mantra. Innovation and adaptation are the only way we can lead the future, and we can lead the future corporate world and future whatever the organizations, even non-profit organizations. So that is where engineering education is going to be entering into the new era. And that is how NEP has taken all those steps into account. All of you know that probably it is a higher education ATAL program is there, but I must tell you that NEP, the kind of structure 5 plus 4 plus 4 plus 3 up to 12, whatever the structure they have kept, the structure, it talks about up to 12 standard, 5 year for the primary. Probably, that probably during my time and Professor Chawla's time, we have been raised by our grandparents, and they used to teach the value foundations, Ramayana, Mahabharata, Vedas, Puranas, all those kind of traditional knowledge, Chanakya Niti and Chhatrasal and great kings of, our Indian kings, and all those they used to tell, and we used to get the motivation, spirit, and what are the things, do's and don'ts, ye nahi karna chahiye, ye nahi karna chahiye, ye karna chahiye. This is how value ethical foundation we used to build, and it used to come from our grandparents. And today, all of you know that today we are moving from one place to other place for the job, and there are no more joint families. Probably husband and wife both are working. So in this kind of environment, the moment kid is born, the kid is given to the maid. The moment kid goes to the maid, till the both husband and wife comes to from office to the house, what kids can learn? They don't learn Ramayana,